Hello, and welcome back to Hike and Seek Pod with Kelly and Corbin. This is episode number 2.
Episode number 2. That's Kelly, and I'm Corbin. And today we are talking about the beauty of Idyllwild. So, how we found the best camping spot and what made the hike to Tahquitz Peak and our first attempt to summit San Jacinto so memorable. So stick around and gear, tips, and stories from the trail.
And special guest, Bagheera. And don't forget to follow us. Check out our Instagram at Hike and Seek Pod. We can see photos, videos of our trips and adventures.
All right, so jumping off here into our trip overview. So this is kind of an interesting one because originally you came out to me for the first time we met, first date.
Yep.
This was second date, and so the plan was to come out to you. But this was still, I think, the weekend after we did San Gorgonio. I think I did Cactus to Clouds right after that.
Yeah.
You sent me some Epsom salt for an Epsom salt bath after that. And this was, I think, the week before Whitney.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
so we were concerned that I needed to get up to altitude and spend some time altitude training in addition to doing another long hike with decent elevation gain. So out here in Phoenix, I think we were talking about doing stuff in the superstitions, right?
So comparably, there would be majority of the hikes down in Tucson.
Yeah.
On Mount Lemon to get the elevation gain, not necessarily the 13? What is it? Elevation? Whitney.
14.5, 14.8, something
So we don't
like that.
have anything. Our highest peak in Arizona is Humphreys and Flagstaff, and I think that's 12.6.
We got planned for a couple of weekends here.
Yeah. But to get the elevation gain of that 5,000, not a lot of hikes. Majority of them, I think, were down in Tucson, Mount Lemon, and maybe Humphreys qualifies for the elevation gain anyway.
But we knew we didn't want to drive that far.
Right.
That was part of it.
Well, you driving that far, having the limited number of days for his weekend to spare.
Yeah.
Having to drive out here and then drive down to Tucson, 2 hours south.
And then do a 12-hour hike, just
day.
everything all together made that difficult. So you were very kind and volunteered to come back out to California, come back out to the Coachella Valley for our second date, knowing that I would make it up to you and come out here a couple times after I finished Whitney. In good faith, yep. And so that was the plan, is that you drove out and we were going to drive from where I'm at in Coachella Valley up to Idyllwild, which is about an hour drive. I have a nice little yellow post, first come, first served spot up there.
Is that considered BLM land?
No, not considered BLM land. It is, I think it's a wilderness area. It's either wilderness area or national forest land, one or the other. But it's in the Santa Rosa Mountains, and it's called South Ridge Yellow Post.
That's when it was raining. It was sprinkling after we got there.
Maybe. But, so you need four-wheel drive and a high-clearance vehicle to get to our little camp spot.
Yeah.
And my Jeep could get us there. And so it was a really nice night. We got there. We were good and secluded.
Watched
the sunset. It's a beautiful little overlook where you can kind of see down into Idyllwild and some of those surrounding little forest mountain towns up there. Do you remember what we ate for dinner? Is that when I dumped the nachos?
Oh, that is the nacho dump.
Yeah.
So we were trying to be creative and think of some, camp dinners that were not hot dogs. And so we tried camp nachos. And we were almost
You know,
there.
it's like a fire
Another
pit
grate.
that's got the little grate.
Grate
and
over the fire.
I wanted the grate to be lower, closer to the fire,
Yeah.
and I tried to move it while it was hot and was trying not
and
to
the
burn
pan
myself.
was on,
Didn't have the appropriate
grate.
handwear, and yes, the pan was still on the grate and
and it just
dumped everything into
just-
the fire.
the whole pan, and so
So I dropped the ball on that one. I dropped the
You-
pan on that one.
yeah,
Yeah,
dropping
not the best
nachos.
camp dinner. We had lots of s'mores
I think
though.
that was like the first sign that I saw you get flustered or frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
Really, but we saved a lot
Yeah,
of it.
I mean, we didn't eat terribly.
Some of the, because we were using the leftover chicken or something,
Mm-hmm.
or leftover some sort
No,
of
it
meat.
was, it was some type of either tri-tip or
Yeah.
something like
So
that.
maybe that was the second night, actually. Maybe it was the first.
No, because the second night I think we probably ate at the brewery.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So, or no, I think maybe we ate leftovers.
Yeah, we might have eaten some leftovers or something.
But anyway, so that was kind of first take of, we salvaged what we could from a meal perspective. Some of it might have had a little bit of extra ash on
Yeah.
it, but it wasn't terrible. We
Mhm.
got, I think we were able to eat something. So,
Yeah.
so.
So a really nice night up there. And then the plan was to get up the next day. So this would have been Tuesday morning because we would have left Coachella Valley on Monday night.
Mhm.
Drove up to Idyllwild, grabbed that spot. And then from there, you take South Ridge Trail up to Tahquitz Peak. You've got Tahquitz Fire Lookout. And then you'll take the PCT, basically I think it's I know part of it's the PCT. I don't know if it's got another trail name. But then that goes down to, I'm forgetting the name of it. Saddle Junction, which is kind of it's a junction, right? So you can go up to Tahquitz from there, you can go down Devil's Slide to Humber Park, or you can go up Angel's Glide towards San Jacinto and Wellman's Divide. And that's what we were going to do because we wanted to hit the fire lookout and see if we could make it all the way up to the peak or summit of San Jacinto.
Mhm.
And so we hit the lookout.
Yeah.
Not too challenging, although you were kind of huffing and puffing a little bit.
I mean, it was a good incline.
Yeah,
that was
it's not an easy trail.
It was only like 4 miles to from where we started. Mind you, we had to we walked from the campsite to the trailhead.
Yep.
So we had to walk down partial of this road that we came up the night before.
And I
to
think
the
I can
trailhead.
link some of these trails and all trail stuff to
Yeah.
the videos. So we'll make sure to link what we can.
But it was a pretty decent incline for however the mileage to get up to.
Yeah. It's not an easy
Lookout.
hike.
But
I
yes,
think all trails has it as hard.
my inhaler was getting its use, so.
Yep. And then going down that section of the PCT, a lot of times when there's snow up there, it's really risky. You definitely want crampons. You definitely want an ice axe. Now, this was kind of mid-May when we were doing this.
No, this was early May or end of April.
No, it's got to be...
Because you did Whitney the 14th, 15th-ish time frame. So this was
Um,
end of April, early
but
May.
very little snow up there, except for a few little sections on the single track in between Saddle Junction and Tahquitz Peak. And so you had your micro spikes. My micro spikes were trashed from San Gorgonio, so I had tossed those. And it was a little bit of a sketchy section, definitely a section you don't want to fall. Pictures never do it justice, but I've been on that little slope when there is a lot of snow, and like I said, definitely crampons, definitely ice axe there. But we made our way down to Saddle Junction, which it's a nice trail. It's a nice easy down. That section of this hike was not particularly challenging, And then once we got to Saddle Junction, we kind of had a decision to make of, are we going to push up Angel's Glide and get to Wellman's Divide, or are we going to go back down Devil's Slide to Humber Park and then take the Ernie Maxwell Scenic Trail back? We decided to keep pushing, try to get to where we wanted to go. I had never done Angel's Glide before, and so I was excited to give it a shot, but that meant going back uphill and doing that whole thing.
Yeah.
And
it was also another tiring, very long hike.
Yep.
Another hike. Well, we didn't reach the summit of San Jacinto.
We haven't got there yet. You're skipping ahead. Yeah.
Okay, skipping.
Well, I mean, not really skipping. I think we stopped around Wellman's Divide.
Yeah, we stopped at the junction.
Well, we stopped at Saddle Junction, hopped on Angel's Glide. I think we took that all the way up to Wellman's Divide, which is where we were the other weekend.
Yeah.
Yep. And then at Wellman's Divide, which is a nice little overlook, but not all the way up to the top of the summit,
yeah, we
kind of looked at each other and were like, we're tired.
We still had however long to backtrack back.
Let's see. From Wellman's Divide, it's at least another 2 miles up.
Yeah. And I think it was like another, 1,000 or 1,500 feet of elevation.
Yeah,
so we were like...
it's another climb.
Anyway, I think we were pushing on time, too.
Yep, we were pushing on daylight. We could see some weather starting to roll in. And anytime you're looking at peaks that are above 10,000 feet, you get a little bit worried about weather. Definitely, we weren't prepared to be caught in snow. And whenever I see those clouds rolling, I get a little bit nervous. And we were tired. So.
He's a nervous Nelly,
yep.
That's for sure.
So we flipped it around and took Angel's Glide back down to Saddle Junction. And then we took... I hate going out and backs. Not my favorite. I like to make loops out of things, see some different stuff. So knowing full well that this was going to make this harder on the two of us, but I also was, again, nervous Nelly, didn't really want to go back through that little sketchy section.
Yeah.
Especially because when we were up...
that was the main decision maker, was that little patch of ice after the lookout.
Because when we were up at Wellman's Divide, we actually couldn't see Tahquitz Peak in the lookout anymore because the clouds had rolled in. So I was also worried that they might have been getting hit with some snow or hail or something, and that would have made that small little pass a little sketchier. So we took Devil's Glide down to Humber Park. And again, this is just going downhill, so not that hard.
No.
If you go up, it's really hard. But so Southridge, which is the way that we went up to Tahquitz. So they're really, I think, and I've done them both in the summertime and in the wintertime. They're both hard trails going up to Tahquitz Peak. There's really no easy way to do it other than to get to that Southridge trail. You really need a vehicle that's 4x4 and high clearance. Otherwise, you're parking on the road, which is a ways away from the trailhead. So once we got to Humber Park, then we took the Ernie Maxwell Scenic Trail.
Yeah, which was a really nice trail.
Super nice trail.
Casual perspective.
Yeah, maybe just slightly harder than a nature walk.
Yeah, definitely.
But, at this point, we'd have to look and see how long that trail is by itself.
Yeah,
but
it was a good little recovery.
Sure. At this point, we're probably 13, 14, 15 miles in.
Yeah.
And we're both pretty done.
Yeah.
So, and here comes the real kicker. Once you finish that trail, which on that trail, we did run into some firefighters. You remember that?
Oh yeah, they were training.
I think it was a training run, but they had their full gear on and were running down the trail, so keeping us on our toes a little bit because we didn't see any.
At first, I was kind of worried,
what's going on? But they didn't say anything to us.
Yeah, they were casually doing their thing.
Totally. But then you get down to where that kind of spits you out at that end of that trailhead. And we have to walk back
Which up. Is like a road? Like a service road?
But it's still paved.
It's paved and there was houses that butted up to it.
Yep. So it's just a little section of Idyllwild.
Yeah.
An Idyllwild neighborhood, not downtown, but kind of tucked away up there. And so from there we walk on the road
And by this time we were really done.
Yeah. And but then we got to get back on the high clearance 4x4 South Ridge, Forest Service Road. That is a dirt road that is going
rocky,
uphill very dramatically. I don't remember exactly the length of that road. I do know it felt like forever.
Yeah.
And
it was probably not more than or maybe it was 2. Do you think it was 2 miles?
Maximum. Max.
And he offered, once we got to that junction, he's like, well, you can stay down here. I'll
go get the Jeep.
I'll walk up to the Jeep, pack all the stuff up, which I think we've generally had everything. I think we left the chairs out.
I would just have to fold the tent up and come get you.
And I think after we looked at like how long, I was like, I'm not going to sit here by myself. The sun was going down. Like, what if something happened? Like, then I'm like stuck out here in the woods
so
by myself.
It was stupid of me to offer?
Well, I mean, I understand where you were coming from that
granted,
offer.
Idyllwild, while I've never felt unsafe, you do hear about like homeless people living up there in the woods.
Yeah.
And also
I just didn't want to be sitting there by myself for an
but
undisclosed
again,
amount of time.
We're running out of daylight too.
And
mountain
tired.
Lions,
I'm tired.
Yeah.
And then you having to pack up all that stuff on your own. It was like, no, like we'll go up, and we were also talking like we could pack it up and then we could go into town.
Yep.
And stay somewhere into town and go to the brewery. But we decided against that, and we're like, no, we've already got our stuff here. We're tired, so we've got food that we can eat, so we just trekked it up this road.
At that point, we were done talking, so we
were done. Podcast. It was very quiet. Yep.
We
listened to another podcast and just...
True crime podcast.
Yeah.
Just spent another night out in the woods. Yeah, for sure. But we made it back up to the top and sat up there for a second and decompressed. No shower at this,
I think we took our shoes off.
Campground. This was a primitive campground. So we changed.
Had a beer.
Yep, definitely. And I think did we have leftovers? What did we eat that night?
I think we had leftovers of some sorts.
Yeah.
Whatever meat that we had left over, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I know we had.
But another campfire.
Yep.
And then another sunset, which we'll post pictures of on Instagram, so check us out on Hike and Seek Pod.
Yeah.
And then so it must have been the next day. I don't know what we did that following morning, do you?
We got up. I think we just got up and we went into town.
Okay. So we must have, you and I are both pretty early risers, so...
Yes. Find you a partner.
Yeah, it definitely matters.
Your sleep schedule matters when you're finding a partner.
For sure.
So we are not incredibly night owls.
No.
But we like to get up early.
So I would imagine we were up by 6 or 7.
Oh yeah.
So we must have just kind of taken our time having breakfast and like packing up and stuff. We then probably went into downtown Idyllwild. There's that coffee shop there. I think it's called Pure Bean.
Because all the
and
dogs.
We sat and had coffee with a bunch of locals taking their dogs there.
PCTers in and out of.
Which is always a cool part of Idyllwild for sure. And then I guess we did that until some of the gift shops opened up, and then we bummed around the gift shops.
Yeah.
And waited for the brewery to open. And if you've never been to Idyllwild and you're a alcohol drinker, Idyllwild Brew Pub, it's probably one of my favorite mountain town breweries kind of hubs. They have really good beer that they brew in-house as well as mixed drinks. So pick your poison. The food is good bar food.
On the patio there.
Yeah, it's a very cool like tree house.
Covered patio, tree house looking thing. Very nice for that day.
And they use all.
I think we got there right when it opened at like 11.
Mm-hmm. They've gotten awards for being environmentally friendly, and they have a very cool like brewing process using water from the local mountains. That whole thing, if that is your cup of tea. So, check that spot out. Mm-hmm. And then I'm sure we just headed back to Val, yeah? Oh, no, you're right. Go ahead.
So now, if you listen to episode 1, you would have heard that in Big Bear, we had attempted to or had brought up getting a tattoo. Upon entering Idyllwild, I think one of the first things we saw was a tattoo shop. So we're like, well, should we attempt it once again? Like, if it's not meant to be, they're not going to be open. And we kind of thought the same thing. Being a small mountain town and not necessarily prime season, maybe it's not going to be open. But we went in there after we ate, right?
It must have been, because there's no way a tattoo shop in a mountain town is going to be open at like 11 when we had lunch.
Yeah,
so.
I think they might have maybe opened at like 1 or 2. So
a few drinks in.
Well, I mean, like maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
Or so.
Yeah.
We had already looked at kind of an idea of what we were thinking of, which was going to be the outline of a mountain. And then just because something simple, both of us
specifically though, San Gorgonio.
Yes, but then it turned into, well, why don't we get the outline of a mountain that we just hiked? So that's why initially we were trying to get it in San Gorgonio. So we Googled a couple examples to kind of get the, what is it called?
Ridgeline.
The ridgeline.
Yep.
And like a basic ridgeline. So we kind of had that already identified. And then we walked in, and I don't think
there was no wait, just the tattoo artist who's also the owner.
Cleaning or setting up or doing something in there.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just like, yeah, we want to get matching tattoos.
Yeah, and he, we asked him what his minimum was. He said,
oh, yeah.
$80. Or maybe it was $100, but we talked him down to 80 because we were each getting one.
Yeah.
Sort of deal.
I forget how that happened. I think he did say 100, but then somehow, I think he liked our story or something, and he's like, oh, I'll give it,
Showed him what we wanted off the picture on my phone, and he drew it up, and we said, that's great. And so I went first because it was my first one. We got it here on the same spot, left arm, just above the elbow. Little San Gorgonio ridgeline.
Yeah.
So
he was a little wincing when
me?
he got
Yeah. I mean, it's not comfortable.
Yeah. It didn't hurt.
Nah. Yeah, and he was a cool dude. Shot the shit with us for however long we were in there.
Oh, yeah, we were in there for a long time, it seemed like.
Yeah.
Learned his... Oh, well, and we had these weird coincidences with him. Remember, his son and his son's girlfriend were actually moving to Arizona.
Mm-hmm. So you were giving them all types of advice.
So they had, they were big foodies. So we were talking about restaurants and stuff like that. And then there was something else that was related to you, I think, from where he's from, in LA area or something.
I don't remember.
But anyway, so we did that, and then I think after we did that, what did we do?
I think we probably came back.
Just came back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Corbin's parents saw his tattoo, or his dad.
Yeah, they both saw it when I was home in July, and so this again was either late April, early May, and I didn't tell him. So, and I'm usually a long sleeve wearer, and so I was wearing long sleeves, and I just didn't mention it. And eventually, I got into Lake Michigan, and my mom saw it, and my dad saw it right before we left. He thought it was a piece of grass. So they found out. Wasn't a big deal though, which was much appreciated.
Yeah. And it's funny, my mom had actually asked me, just inquiring before she met Corbin, just all the motherly questions, all the little bits and pieces, and she's like, oh, well, does he have any tattoos? And I was just like, well, yeah, he's got one. And she's like, well, what is it? And I was like, so I just like lifted up my sleeve, and I was like, he's got this. And she's like, kind of confused at first, and I was like, we got matching tattoos.
Yeah, I don't think my parents know that we have matching tattoos.
Oh, well, they might find out now.
I'm keeping it. They just don't ask a lot of questions, which is probably good for them.
You're keeping it?
And so, okay, yeah, yep.
So overall, the hike that we did that day was, my all trail says it was about 5,000 feet of elevation and just under 20. So it was like 19 miles and 19.9 miles.
Again, prepping me for Whitney, which is right around 20 miles and 6,000 feet of elevation. It was a really good prep leading up to that. So, and
Yeah.
I was also, at altitude. We didn't make it all the way up to San Jacinto, which is right about 10.5, but we were right under that and spent 2 nights sleeping around 6 or 8 or something like that. So I felt pretty good.
I was thrilled because of getting to go to a fire lookout that I was not expecting.
Yeah, it's a good fire lookout.
Yeah.
And it's now closed.
Yeah.
So
But you can still go up there.
you can go up
On
there,
the deck.
but yes. Well, no,
Not
you can't get on a deck right now.
Oh, you can't?
No, they closed it for
Oh, did
restoration.
they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Always be cautionary if you do go up to a fire lookout. So,
Yeah.
disclosure.
Yep. But you liked the fire lookout. I was definitely bummed I didn't get to take you up to San Jacinto, but that's my local mountain, so lots of other opportunities to get up there. It is another hike that I would like to do and complete, going from that South Ridge or Humber Park, but starting in Idyllwild somewhere and hiking all the way up to San Jacinto, because I've done it from Palm Springs with Cactus to Clouds, and I've done it we've both done it. I've done it multiple times from the tram. The tram takes you from Palm Springs up the mountain to about 8,000 feet, and then you hike from there, which is about a 10-mile round trip hike. But we were just up there a couple weekends ago and talked to some people who made the trip over from Idyllwild or Black Mountain, and that's definitely on my to-do list.
Yeah.
So, but you really like the fire lookout. I think Wellman's Divide is definitely a highlight on that trail. And then once you do go up to San Jacinto, Peak Trail and all the stuff at the top is nice too.
Gear-wise, very similar. I mean, again, time of year depends, but in the springtime, I would always make sure you're carrying with you your micro spikes, crampons if you've got them in lieu, one or the other, at least, at a minimum.
Yeah, crampons for this time of year up there, at least last year.
When we did it?
Yeah. Like, it probably too much. You
If that's
wouldn't
the
be
only
able
thing
to
you
use
have,
them.
though.
Maybe. I mean, I could have used them on that one section.
Yeah.
But I don't think we would have needed them.
Would have been a
anywhere
little
else.
bit aggressive, but
Yeah.
at minimum.
But I didn't have micro spikes, and I sure
Yeah.
wished I had.
Yeah.
So, and for me, micro spikes are so light, it just doesn't make sense not to have them. But yeah, I actually think that this was my first time. I bought a bag that I wanted to use for Whitney because I didn't want to have, or I wanted to be able to pack more. The camelback that I was wearing on my back is really small. It carries water and not too much else. And so for Whitney, I was planning on having a bigger bag. So I do think I had a bigger bag for this one, and I think I put a lot of like my safety gear in there, like a jacket and like a packable small backpacking jacket, as well as like a rain poncho and my first aid kit. So my gear was probably a little bit heavier than what we did on Gorgonio.
I still think my bag was still ungodly heavy.
Yeah, you
and
bad
I still
how
don't
with that.
understand how. Yeah.
I don't think I took my fanny pack on this one though, because I had such a big bag.
No, you did.
Oh, did I?
I remember it in the pictures.
Okay. Well, that was probably, again, knowing that I was going to take it with me on Whitney, and training for that, just trying to have as similar gear as possible.
Oh, and we also did, I forgot, we did the fireball shots
Yeah.
on the fire lookout.
Yep. That's a thing I wanted to start, was at summits and lookouts and things like that, doing fireball shots. But I think we're one for like a lot at this point. So
I think we've only done it twice.
yeah.
But we've had beers
two for
at
like
some of them.
10. Yeah, beers like 1 for 10. 2 for 10 again.
So.
Yeah, and I think at this point, my feet were in not a great spot because of some of the boots. So when preparing for Whitney and crampons, you need a much stiffer soled boot. So I bought some boots to use with my crampons, but they had kind of worn at my heel, so it felt bruised essentially. And so I didn't want to wear either of my boots. Those are the Hoka's. And so I ended up just wearing trail runners the whole time on this one, which again, you know what? I think I had my boots because I do think I put them on to cross that sketchy section.
Yeah, I do.
So I think I tied my boots to my bag because again, that was part of my Whitney plan, was to do the majority of it in my trail runners and just put my boots on for the slope to the climber's right. So when I needed the crampons. And so I do think I had my boots with me, but I wore trail runners probably the majority of the time to try to save my feet. We both used poles.
Yep.
We both had plenty of water. I probably had 4 liters. You probably had 3.
Yep.
We probably had some water bottles with us as well. But yeah.
Food-wise, I think we packed our normal. I think we had our salmon or tuna packets and crackers. I think we brought that to eat.
Yeah.
As well as maybe.
I don't know if we ate it though.
I think we ate it when we reached the point that we decided not to go up to San Jacinto. Didn't we eat there?
Wellman's Divide.
Yeah.
We probably ate something, but I probably had trail mix and candy.
Or maybe it was just a snack.
Yeah, I don't know that. It's not my favorite trail snack. So.
What is?
Tuna. Yeah, those little packets. That tough sell for me personally.
Easy.
Yeah. So.
I don't like eating smushed sandwiches. That's my thing.
I know. But when you're on the summit of the mountain.
But what we did learn, was this the time where we were like, we'll just take frozen Uncrustables.
No, I think that was Gorgonio.
Was that Gorgonio?
We talked about that last time.
Yeah.
I don't even know if we took any
I'm trying.
Uncrustables on this one.
Anyway, so lessons learned, I think,
I don't know that
maybe more, I guess, plan more of the hiking route in this one.
I don't know. I mean,
it worked out, but
it's an area that I'm really comfortable in because
Yeah.
I'm up there all the time because it's so close. So, I think I knew going in. I didn't know exactly because All Trails didn't have the exact route as far as mileage and elevation went. So we were just kind of routing it as we went.
Yeah.
But I knew the trails all connected, and I knew how to get from A to B to C to D to E, and then back again. We didn't have like a 100% set plan. I don't think that was a mistake. I don't think we learned anything from it. It was just, we made decisions on the trail kind of as we went.
Yeah.
And that turned out to be just fine. It was definitely longer, or the planned route was definitely longer than I think we had anticipated.
Yeah.
We probably would have needed to gotten up earlier and gotten started earlier to actually complete what we wanted to complete. But I don't think that was the weekend to complete it anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't think we learned anything. I think it was a smart decision to turn around when we did, and we executed really, really well.
Maybe just make sure to bring hot pads or have hot pads in your camping box in the event that you need to touch or move the grate for the campfire. And pull off the cast iron pan that we had.
It's probably something I could still add to my camping kit.
That's the lesson learned.
Yeah, that's the lesson learned. Have hot pads. What about, this was our second camping trip together, but it was our first camping trip staying at what is probably considered a primitive campsite. So there's no rangers around, there's no camp host. You're just kind of up there by yourself. You're pretty far away from any of the other campsites. How'd you feel with that? Again, it's only our second meeting, so.
Yeah, I think we almost had. I think we took what we did in our first camping adventure and mimicked that. But then also we dealt with a little bit of rain, so I don't think there was any. I think we did exactly kind of what we did the first time, and partnered and teamwork to set things up, get things moving, clean up. Yeah, nothing that I can notable on.
You impressed by the Jeep being able to get up there?
I mean,
I wouldn't take it up there right now, not without the new shocks.
yeah.
Yep.
Wasn't there something that happened though? Like there was.
Yeah, I definitely scraped the bottom of it on a boulder, pretty
Yeah.
good sized boulder coming down.
That, but then didn't we like hear something or did I think I saw some sort of animal? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I never like my back facing blackness.
And up there, your back is pretty much always facing blackness.
And the car was pretty decently far away from the
It's a huge
fire
campsite.
ring. Yeah. And then it slopes down.
Yep.
So there's definitely lots of opportunity for animals.
Primarily being mountain lions.
Primarily, and probably what, black bears?
Not a lot of black bears up there, not alone. Yeah, there's a handful, but that's pretty recent sightings. Like the last time that I was up there talking to a ranger, he's like, "We don't really get black bears," so that's kind of a somewhat new thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's there's always the bathroom situation when you're primitive camping like that, but we didn't really run into any major problems. So did our business away from each other on our second date if it was done in secrecy. Yeah. So I love Idyllwild. If you haven't been, it's a great place to go. Nice secluded mountain town. Throw it up there. I mean, Big Bear is a little bit bigger because it's got the ski resorts, but it's up there with Ojai, and Julian's a newly discovered place for me as well. But these California mountain towns are hard to beat, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So,
Super cute little towns, lots of PCTers, go through them, so I think that's a lot of their marketing, but then also obviously during in-season, touristy. So I'd say it was nice to go when it wasn't tourist season, just because then we never had to wait for anything. It's just a lot of things might not have been opened or opening later. So yeah.
Yeah. We're not big night owls, so
No.
when those mountain towns do get really busy, a lot of it is kind of nightlife sort of stuff. And we're also not like skiers, snowboarders. You've done some snowboarding as
Yeah,
an adult,
I
but
wouldn't consider myself avid.
I've done none of that as an adult. So outside of being on the mountain, on the slopes, like it's really just nightlife, which we go to bed too early for. So
Yeah.
we're there for happy hour.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning into episode number 2.
Make sure you subscribe on whatever platform that you are listening on. Find us on Instagram, Hike and Seek Pod, and follow us there as well. We'll be posting pictures and whatnot from this, kind of the week leading up to the podcast release, and then maybe maybe a week after.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks from now, I think we'll do not a solo episode, but we'll talk about my Whitney trip.
Yeah.
My Whitney hike, and maybe you'll kind of maybe we'll do like interview style or something like that.
Yeah. And what was I gonna say? Oh, we'll link either all trails or let you know what trails we took. Thinking about putting like little itineraries together of what we did, maybe what we might suggest as an alternative type thing. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Likely will be linked on the Instagram. So definitely follow us there.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys in a couple weeks.
Thank you.